My name is Sturgis Adams, and I grew up outside of Boston, and then New York, and now LA. And I'm here talking about sort of three things I do. One is an agency and kind of a creative technology studio that I work with called HYPERHYPER. And the second is a company that is my own called Reboot Entertainment, which is like a distribution platform. And the third is kind of a creative process that I work with artists on to help guide them into the digital and social and mobile world.
So are you talking about all three entities tonight?
I'm talking about all three entities tonight, but they're all kind of the same thing thematically. They're all about sort of helping creators and brands kind of find their voice in the world we live in now. Sure. Oh yeah, I'm speaking about all three things, but I'm sort of framing it in the idea of how it all happened, which is just me asking for help and being able to have the ability in some fields to help other people, and that's how that sort of bled into working with brands and finally being able to pay rent helping other people because I knew some things that they didn't know and they knew lots of things that I didn't know. So I'm sort of framing it in that way. It's a good story, actually. It happened exactly the way I just described. I stumbled across Adam Newhouse, who I've known for years, since back when we both worked, I think, for like a summer at the Independent Feature Project, when we were both like probably right out of college. And a few months ago, I ran into his profile on LinkedIn when they suggest you should maybe you know this person. I was like, yeah, I know that person. I just happened to click and I saw some of the things he was up to, and I sent him an email out of the blue being like, hey man, I don't know if you remember me, but hey, wow, this looks amazing. How can I help? And we had coffee and I helped him a little bit, and now here I am. I have been to Las Vegas before. The times that I remember, I was on the Strip, and it was its own remarkable Vegas experience. But yeah, down here, I didn't even know downtown Las Vegas existed, to be totally honest. I've spent a few days on the Strip, just sort of in the insulated world of a hotel and a casino. And I drove through here once when I was 18. But other than that, I didn't even know that downtown Las Vegas really existed. It's been remarkable. This area that's being developed and the way it's being developed reminds me of what it might have been like to be in New York in the 70s when you were an artist living in these amazing sort of huge lofts. It reminds me a little bit of what I see is happening. We have an office in downtown Los Angeles in the Arts District, which was barren and now is sort of moving quickly, but it seems to be moving quickly towards what the meatpacking district in New York felt like 10 years ago, which I remember where I had an office. And this feels a lot different than that. This feels like it's a it feels like with the guidance of someone like Tony, it's a really deeply curated vision, but at the same time free to evolve exactly how it may want to, and we don't know what that is yet. And that's what I'm really struck by. I mean, that feels very artistic, and that feels that feels like the way you make something artistically. And that's remarkable. I think that what struck me the most is that every single conversation I've had with everyone around me so far, it's occurred to me that we're all trying to solve really similar problems, and we all have different ideas about how to do it. And there's an immense, support about hearing other people's thoughts on how they think digital distribution should work, or they think artists should be able to be seen, or they think that culture will evolve into the digital or mobile world, or transmedia, or cross-platform narrative is like my favorite new like little buzzword, which I'm always dropping. And I'm amazed that we're all thinking about those things, and we all have such wonderful and innovative ideas on how to sort of move all those things forward. But every single conversation I've had, it's occurred to me that we're all trying to solve the same problems. I think the thing that I've been most struck by the whole experience is that this is such a huge vision, and yet it's being executed so gracefully, and I have a lot of admiration for that, because I have like lots of big ideas, and I don't always like get to the past the blueprint, and I have books and books and books of ideas, and I'm inspired by both the sort of initiative and the way that people have sort of have changed their lives in order to realize this vision by moving from wherever they were moving, or committing to this lifestyle, which is so community-based and sort of not revolutionary, but certainly not the norm in this day and age, and maybe not so safe either. And I think that's I like to live in that place that may not be so safe, but is yet kind of close to the edge, and pushing the envelope, whether it's from a lifestyle point of view or a business point of view or a creative point of view. I think that's where the magic happens. So I'm inspired to do that more, and kind of see through some of those bigger visions, because you look at a place like this and you're like, wow, you can dream that big and it can actually be made real,